Okay, good afternoon, class. I am your math teacher, Mr. Sean Michael Benato, and today we are on arts. So, our topic on arts on today is about the Western and classical arts. Our lesson one is about the distinct characteristics, elements, and principles of arts during the different periods. So, class, the Western classical tradition is the reception of classical Greco-Roman antiquity by latter cultures, especially the post-classical West, involving text, imagery, objects, ideas, institutions, monuments, architectures, or rather architectural, cult- cultural artifacts, rituals, practices, and sayings. So in this lesson, guys, we're going to tackle many different eras and their different kinds of traditional arts and crafts in that specific era. We will start with the prehistoric era. So class, in prehistoric era, we have paintings, sculptures, and architecture. So paintings in prehistoric era were found inside the caves and believed to be their way of communicating each other. It may also be for religious or for ceremonial purposes and more of an artifact of the archaeological evidence than a true picture of humans' first created art. So prehistoric drawings showed animals that were usually correct in proportion. So this is the example of the paintings from the prehistoric era. So sculptures in prehistoric era naman, class, were believed to be a product of result of natural erosion and not human artistry according to archaeologists. Materials used in sculptures vary according to region and locality, while carving may have mythological or religious significance. So it is highlighted there that sculptures in prehistoric era where the materials used in sculptures vary according to region and locality, while carving may have mythological or religious significance. This is the example of the sculptures of the prehistoric era. We will go to the architectures of prehistoric era. So, from the early age developed a form based on megaliths, a big rock. So, from the Greek word lithos means stone and megas means big. Megaliths, a big rock, was created, or the term megaliths were being created. Although these structures that survive from prehistory might not be what we would normally think of as architecture, but these buildings still inspire awe today through the mysteries of their meaning, the intricacy of skill of their design, or the ingenuity of their construction. Okay, so here are some examples of the architectures from prehistoric era. So that's prehistoric era for you guys, and then we will go to the ancient Egypt. So ancient Egypt, we have their paintings. So paintings in ancient Egypt were believed to make the deceased life place pleasant, giving importance of life after death and the preservation of the knowledge of the past. Most paintings were stylized, symbolic, and show profile view of an animal or a person with themes that included the journey of the deceased gods to the underworld. So the main colors used in this period were red, black, blue, gold, and green, derived from their sand, blue and green, and it is derived from mineral pigments that can withstand strong sunlight without fading. Okay, here are some examples from the paintings of ancient Egypt. So sculptures. So next will be the sculptures of ancient Egypt. Sculptures of ancient Egypt were believed to have a symbolic element such as forms, hieroglyphics, hieroglyphics, relative size, location, materials, color, actions, and gestures were widely used, though so their tombs required the most extensive use of sculpture. Characteristics includes the characteristics of sculptures in ancient Egypt includes symbolism to represent the gods were composite creature with animal heads on human body. Relief composition were arranged in horizontal lines to record an event or represent an action. Most of the time the gods were shown larger than humans. The kings are larger than the followers and the dead larger than the living. So empty spaces were filled with figures or hieroglyphics and all individual components were all brought to the plane of representation and laid out like writing. Here are examples of the sculptures of ancient Egypt. That's sculptures for you in the ancient Egypt. So we have the architectures of ancient Egypt. So it is believed that architectures in ancient Egypt were developed during the pre-dynastic period of 4000 BC. The characteristics of architectures of Egyptian includes thick sloping walls with few openings to obtain stability. Exterior and interior walls along with the columns and piers were covered with hieroglyphics and pictorial frescoes with carving painted in brilliant colors. Ornamentations were symbolic like scarab or the sacred beetle, and they also have solar disk, vulture, and common motifs such as palm leaves, buds, lotus flower, and papyrus. So plants and temples were aligned with astronomically significant events with precise measurements like solstices. Sun appeared to stand still on the first day of winter, and the equinox were in a time or date when day and night are of equal length. So here are some examples of the architectures of ancient Egypt. We're done with prehistoric era and ancient Egypt. We will go to the classical Greek. So paintings in classical Greeks during this period were most commonly found in vases, panels, and tombs. They depict natural figures with dynamic compositions and reveal a grasp of linear perspective and naturalistic presentation. So most of the subjects were scenes, mythological figures, and everyday scenes. Most common methods of Greek painting are fresco or water-based painting and encaustic or wax-based painting. Here are some paintings from the classical Greek eras. So sculptures in the classical Greek era were tense and stiff, and their bodies were hidden within enfolding robes or draping during the early times. But it had finally evolved and showed all the points of human anatomy and proportion after 3 centuries of experiments. Here are sculptures from the classical Greek era. And we will go to the architecture of classical Greek. So the architecture showed temples consisting of a central shrine of Rome in an aisle surrounded by rows and columns. These buildings were designed in one of three architectural style or orders: Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian. So here is an example of the architectures from classical Greek. So after classical Greek era, we have the Roman era. Painting were mostly copied or imitated from Hellenic Greek paintings. So fresco technique was used in brightly colored backgrounds, division of the wall into a multiple rectangular era, or the tic-tac-toe design. There is also a multi-point perspectives, and also there is a multi-point perspective as a Tropmi oil effect. So Roman painting has a wide variety of subjects including animals, everyday life, still life, mythological subjects, portraits, and landscapes. So particularly in main innovation or Roman painting from Greek painting. So here are examples from the paintings from Roman era. After the paintings, we have the sculptures of Roman era. So sculptures in Roman era were made of monumental terracotta. They did not attempt to compete with the freestanding Greek works of history and mythology, but rather produced reliefs in the great Roman triumphal columns with continuous narrative reliefs around. So here's an example of the sculptures from Roman era. The architectures from Roman era. So from this era were sturdy. So the architectures from this era were sturdy stone structures, both for use and to perpetuate their glory. So the emperors erected huge halls and arenas for public games, baths and procession, with gigantic arcs of stones, bricks and concrete, or with barrel vaults. So here is an example of the architectures from Roman era. Now we will continue into the Byzantine period. So the paintings in Byzantine period were lively styles which had been invented in Greek and Rome, but this time for Christian subjects, and by the 11th century the Greek and Oriental styles seemed to blend together in splendid, imposing images which ornamented the churches in large and small forms. Okay, here is an example of the Byzantine period paintings. We have also the sculptures of Byzantine period. In the Byzantine period, sculptures were religious, everyday life scenes and motifs from nature. Animals were used as symbols such as doves, deer, and peafowl, while some had acrostic signs that contained a great theological intent or significance. We have also the architecture of Byzantine period. So from this period had a lot in common with the early Christian architecture, where mosaic decoration was perfected, as was the use of clerestory or bring light in from high windows. So Byzantine's advancement in developing the dome created a new style in global architecture. Here are examples of the sculptures of Byzantine period. So we're in the Romanesque era now. So paintings from Romanesque era have remarkably variety of artistic traditions, where largely placed mosaics on the walls of the churches that follow a strict frontal pose with modeling and treatment of faces that follow Byzantine convention, while the refreshingly decorative feeling came from southern French styles. It showed Mozarabic influence, or the Arabized influence, through elongated oval faces, large staring and fierce eyes, long noses, and figures against flat colored bands with heavy outlining. Here are the samples of Romanesque era paintings. So now we will go to the sculptures of Romanesque era. So the sculptures of Romanesque era were pieces of reliquaries, altar frontals, crucifixes, and devotional images. So the small individual works of art were generally made of costly materials for royal and aristocratic patrons. Lightweight devotional images were usually carried during the process. Lightweight devotional images were usually carried during the processions, both inside and outside the churches. Here is the example of the sculpture of the Romanesque era. Also, we have the architectures of Romanesque era. So the architectures from this period showed doorways of Romanesque churches that were often grand sculptured portals or door openings. Wood or metal doors were surrounded by elaborate stone sculptures arranged in zones to fit architectural elements. Many castles were built during the period but were greatly outnumbered by the churches. So the Romanesque style in England was traditionally referred to as a Norman architecture. Here is the example of the architecture of the Romanesque era. And now we will go to the Gothic era. Paintings have been confined with the illumination of manuscript pages, and the paintings of frescoes in the walls of the churches were composed cosmopolitan style in elegant and sophisticated manner. So the subjects of their painting usually depict popular legends and love stories with pattern like mille fleurs or thousand flowers showed influence which may have been due to the Crusades. So stained glass windows were created to transform the vast stone interiors with warm colors to instruct Christians in their faith. So here are examples of the paintings of the Gothic era. Now, now we will go to the sculptures of the Gothic era. So the sculptors in Gothic era had a greater freedom of style. They no longer lay closely against the wall but began to protect outward. Figures were given their own particular attitudes instead of being set into particular patterns, but were livelier and more realistic at the same time. Here are some examples of the sculptures of Gothic era. Now we will go to the architectures of the Gothic era, where from this period included two new devices such as pointed arch, which enabled builders to construct much higher ceiling vaults and stone vaulting hold on a network of stone ribs which were supported by piers and clustered pillars. These elements together formed a structurally and aesthetically integrated system or style which made the primary engineering innovation and design component of Gothic architecture. So here are some examples of the architectures of the Gothic era. So here is a summary of the lesson. So Western classical arts were classified into three timelines. These are the ancient arts, which includes prehistoric and Egyptian eras, the classical arts through Greek and Roman eras, and medieval arts, which was presented by Byzantine, Romanesque, and Gothic eras. So prehistoric era showed paintings as a way of communicating sculptures as a product of natural erosion and not of human artistry, while architecture ignited man's imagination through megalithic monuments. So, and Egyptian paintings emphasize on the importance of life after death. Sculptures that symbolizes and represents the gods, and architecture that were structurally stable and astronomically significant and scientific in nature. So the Greek paintings used vases, panels, and tombs, and introduced method of painting such as fresco and encaustic sculptures that showed all points of human anatomy. So and proportion and emphasize on the representation of movement for dramatic effects, while architecture that highlighted buildings such as temples surrounded by rows and columns, thus introducing three architectural styles or orders, which are the Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian. The Roman paintings were copied or imitated from Hellenic Greek paintings but gave more importance on landscape paintings and introduced mosaic paintings and introduced mosaic painting. Sculptures were made of monumental terracotta and produced reliefs in the great Roman triumphal column and architectural designs that built sturdy stones both for use and to perpetuate their glory. So here is the Byzantine period, emphasized on paintings, sculptures and architectural with the Christian subjects. Also, Romanesque paintings emphasize on largely placed mosaic on the devotional images, while architecture that were evident on doorways of churches or grand sculpted portals. Gothic painting showed frescoes on the walls of the churches in cosmopolitan style, elegant and sophisticated manner. So the sculptures had great freedom of style and began to project outward, while architectural designs included two new devices such as pointed arch and stone vaulting. So, as your task in this lesson, I want you to record yourself and tell me about the importance of the Western classical art traditions and also its influence on the different art traditions in the different countries in the world. Thank you.